So the one tractor I haven't shown you guys how to operate yet that we currently own is the 4640. So today I'm going to show you guys how to operate a John Deere 4640 with a quad range transmission. They made these tractors with partial power shift also, I believe, but this one is quad range. Now I've already been running this tractor, but the first thing you always need to do is to go ahead and check all the fluid levels and check the oil levels, make sure that it's not low, and if it is low, go ahead and put some in it, because you want to check it before you start off for the day, because that's when all your oil will be settled down into the oil pan. So this tractor has the hydraulic seat in it, so it's got a really smooth ride. Over here we have the height control. Usually we have it cranked all the way up because we're a bunch of tall freaks here. I assume you all understand the basic controls of your air conditioning, fan speed, and heat, and the wipers on each side. So I'm going to go straight into how you control the tractor. So we've got our front panel here. This lever up here is to control your turn signals, which I have the flashes running right now. For down on the flashes, we have for your road lights for night, and then your field lights, which is all your lights except for your flashers. Over here we have your ether switch. So if you need to start in the cold, you gotta press that button and start the engine. It's unhooked right now like it should be, because it would spell disaster if someone pressed that in the summer when the engine was all warm. So running out of fuel, as you can tell. Got your engine temperature, your oil pressure, your voltage. Now over here you have your engine speed. Now if you match your engine speed, let's say you're in, since this is a quad range transmission, if you're riding in D4 and you have your engine speed cranked all the way up, if you look over on the side here, there's a panel and it says D4 18, and that stands for 18 miles an hour. They also have kilometers per hour up on top. So it's about 30 kilometers per hour. Now over here we have a little dial that you can control, and it'll tell you if you're in D4, D3, about how fast you're going. So if you're in D4, it'll tell you you're going, depending on how fast your engine is running, you're going around 20 miles an hour. Now why they have miles per hour up here but kilometers per hour over there on top, I'm not really sure of, but it's just the way they did it. We've got our 3-point control for the quick hitch. Got our hydraulic levers over here for the SCVs in the back. This tractor has 3. Then finally we have our shifting levers, which is the quad range. So there's P, A, B, C, and D. P stands for park, like it is now. You have to have the left lever in neutral and your right lever on P. So what'll happen is that if you're sitting on a hill, you'll have to use the power assist park release, which says to move outside lever to A and move inside lever to either 1 or 1R. And that depends on whether you're facing downhill or uphill. And then you gotta slowly engage your clutch. And I'll show you guys what happens in a moment here. So we're kind of facing downhill. I'm not sure if it's going to be engaged, but I'm going to press in the clutch. Yeah, I didn't need to use it, but if it had activated, I would put it into A, and since I'm facing downhill, I got to use the engine to pull out that park release. So if I slowly release the clutch in 1R, the tractor will back up, and then you'll hear a pop, and this handle will be loose. Because if the park is activated, then you aren't going to be able to move that. So that's why they have the park assist. So now we're going to go ahead and start moving. I haven't told you guys about those buttons down there. This is for the differential lock the back wheels together, and this is for your high and low beams. You can hit that with your foot. So I'm going to go in C4. and I'm going to start driving. Release the clutch, the tractor will start rolling. One thing you got to be careful of, and it tells you not to do right here, is that when you're moving the left handle from side to side, you don't have to use the clutch. But when you're moving it from 1 to 2, from 1 and 2 to 3 and 4, you have to press in the clutch. And I'll show you guys that here in a second. So now I'm rolling downhill. I want to go a little bit faster once I get down to the slope here. I'm in C3, and since this is a quad range tractor, all I have to do is slide this lever over to 4, and the tractor does everything for itself, which is pretty nifty. And it's really nice driving on the road because it makes shifting between gears a lot easier. Now, the only other thing that I haven't told you to operating the cab up here is the power takeoff, which if you're pulling an implement that has a PTO on it, you slowly engage this, and the PTO will start running. Now, this tractor is supposed to have a horn. I don't believe it's hooked up. Then when you want to go kill the tractor, you make sure it's in park first of all. I wasn't planning on shutting it off, but I will for video purposes, I guess. Switch the key to the middle position and pull out on this handle, and it'll shut the tractor off. So that's all you really need to know on how to operate a John Deere 4640 with quad range transmission. It's pretty basic. It's really easy to learn off of. It wasn't my starting tractor. The 4440 was a quad range as well, and the tractor that I started on, the Ford 20, is a synchro, which can be pretty difficult to drive. But once you learn how to drive it, you basically know how to drive everything else. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you learned something. So see you next time. Now I'm gonna start rolling. I'm in D1. I'm going out on the road. Speed the engine up. Flip over to D2. Press in the clutch, slow the engine down, switch to D4 to D3, and slowly let out the clutch. Then rev the engine back up. The engine will start throwing out smoke. Then you can switch to D4. And that's a nitty-gritty, fast-paced way on how to shift. You also want to be sure that you stop the tractor when shifting the right-handed lever, because it'll damage the transmission if you try to shift between letters. So I just got to make sure that you stop the tractor completely. I think I'm about to get passed by a house. Yeah, I don't know what that was.